Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I ask you one question? I'm just curious.
Yes.
We got a 3-horse race in Pro Stock Motorcycle. We got Matt Smith, Angelle, Sampey, and a guy who's been out here since the 80s but has never won, Steve Johnson. If I made you pick, who do you think is going to win Pro Stock Motorcycle?
You know, the first two you named, they are the best. I've known them for years. Steve Johnson, he'll struggle for years, and then he bounces out, and he's a bad hombre. And but I don't want to give an opinion. I want to be part of it when it happens, because I love all three of those people. They're like family to me. But Johnson, I like him because he's a real talker.
That's he sure is.
He's talking all the time. So I'll just be rooting for them to be safe, and a champion will be crowned this weekend.
It will. How special is it when you can win the final race of the year here in Pomona?
Well, that's really what it's all about, and I've got a shot at the title. It's a long one. I was in the lead here a month ago or two, but I made some mistakes as a driver. I got knocked down, but I'm in there 5th or somewhere. But there's points and a half, so I'm going to need a miracle, but my whole career has been a miracle, so we'll see where it goes.
Done a fine job. Good luck to you. Yeah. Wish him well. He is the one and only John Force. Big announcement, guys, here from the media suite. It's Pomona, it's Championship Sunday, and we've got one of the most thrilling pro stock motorcycle point battles ever. Come on, guys, let's go. Cycle Drag Universe, we are on hallowed ground. Welcome to the majesty of Pomona. Sit back, relax, because we've got one of the most exciting pro stock motorcycle championship battles in recent memory. It comes down to 3 riders. Point leader Matt Smith, Steve Johnson, and Angelle Sampey. They were separated by just a few points coming in. Well, Steve Johnson's championship hopes took a major blow when the unthinkable happened. In final qualifying, he crossed the center line, costing him 15 points after NHRA docked him.
Focus is all on making his program better.
Yep, no problem there. Just fun and crazy.
675 for Karen Stouffer at 199 miles an hour, while Steve Johnson spun the tire and went across the center line.
So the margin is now Steve Johnson back 45 points, Angelle Sampey back 40, but Karen Stouffer saved the day for the 2 championship contenders behind Matt Smith, because we've only got 12 motorcycles here. Well, that means the #1 qualifier will get a bye in the semis, and Matt Smith was slated to be the #1 qualifier. That is until Karen Stouffer flipped the script. She qualified #1 on the Tim Kalungian tuned War Suzuki. And what that did, ladies and gentlemen, is put all 3 championship contenders down on the bottom half of the bracket, which means everybody still controls their own destiny. If Matt reaches the final, he wins the championship. If Angelle wins the race, she wins the championship. If Steve Johnson wins the race, he wins the championship. High drama, tons of storylines. Sit back, relax. We're going to give you the whole inside scoop. Angelle Sampey is a 3-time champion, but she has not won a title since 2002. She remains one of the most popular drivers on tour, and I guarantee you this place will erupt if Angelle can somehow find her way to a championship title.
Watch over all these riders. Just give them straight passes down the street. You can always get a hold of me on our website. You can find me somehow.
Interesting situation for Flying Ryan Ayler too. He's shown at times he has the speed to win any given event, and in round #1, guess who he has? The one and only Matt Smith. A whole lot of people pulling for Flying Ryan Ayler. And guys, one of the greatest stories in motorsports has to be Steve Johnson. He's worked his entire life for this. He's been out here since the beginning. And let's be honest, no disrespect to Steve, but there have been plenty of seasons, the majority of seasons, where he hasn't even been close to sniffing a championship. Now, Steve controls his own destiny. If he can win this race, he will win the title. And the reason Steve still has a shot is because of this young lady right here, Karen Stouffer. She flipped the script. Again, guys, if she doesn't qualify #1 yesterday in the final session, Matt Smith is #1 and likely walks to a championship. Now, Matt must race his championship adversaries in potentially round 2 and potentially in the semis. Things fixing to get very interesting today. Get your popcorn out, enjoy the show.
Right next to Flying Ryan, yeah.
Well, here's a man who knows a thing or two about championships. 3-time NHRA champion, the one and only Larry Dixon, here in support of Steve Johnson. Larry, it is Championship Sunday. Steve still controls his own destiny, the way the chips fell. What advice are you giving him today?
Nothing. Just try to keep it simple. You know, you can't worry about all the, there's so much to think about, but the more you think about it just gets in the way of the more important things. You know, you need to win first round to be able to do anything about that. You take care of first round, everything else will take care of itself. Then you can worry about second round, but you can't worry about all the other stuff, the destiny and all that, unless you take care of business. So it's just keep it simple, stupid. You know,
good advice.
Yes. So hopefully, you know, hopefully we've done everything right, and we'll go up there and pop the clutch and see how it plays out.
Good luck to you guys today.
Thank you. Thank you.
And look who Steve must run in round number 1, the hometown boy, the veteran. This is 23rd consecutive World Finals, Southern California's own Fast Freddy Camarena. Hey, Scotty Polajek, 685, 197. This is farewell. Next year, he's stepping away to build a house. He's not totally retiring, but he could be a big threat this weekend. Watch out.
Now it's going to be Angie and Angelle.
Major championship implications here. A battle of the ladies. Angie Smith, Angelle Sampey. If Angelle loses, her championship hopes are gone. You know, Angie would love to help out husband right here.
Really important.
For both, Angie on the left side, Angelle on the right side. If the AAA scoreboard comes on, Angelle is still in the fight. If not, her championship goes on.
Red light start. Angelle goes 681, 103 60-foot time. She may have clicked the throttle. She was drifting towards the center line. Angelle's championship hopes still alive. Who you guys think's going to win? Come on, comment down below.
Trying to get Steve to calm down. You know, he said the thing with Steve is here to win the championship.
Here comes Steve Johnson trying to shrug off a bad day yesterday. He's 4 win lights away from the title. He's got to get past Freddie first. 680, Steve Johnson in. Now the pressure shifts to Matt Smith. Angelle wins, Steve wins. Matt's turn to shine.
You just bombed
684, Eddie Krawick moving on. That's good news for Angelle Sampey. One of her teammates survives. Eddie, the multi-time champion, he could be a factor today.
Denso, bright red bike that has been very solid all year long.
Flying Ryan versus Matt Smith. Remember, beginning of the year at Gainesville Raceway, the Gator Nationals, there was a little bit of drama between these two. No love lost. Flying Ryan, this is his Super Bowl. A chance to take out Matt Smith. Guys, and that is why Matt Smith is a 4-time champion, a consummate professional, poised and cool. Low elapsed time of the round, 677. We got a thrilling battle here in Pomona.
674. Hey, she did it! 200 miles an hour. She has been chasing that for so long.
Karen Stover, I told you she was the wild card, guys. 674, low of the round, and look at the big speed. 200 miles an hour, Karen's first 200 mile an hour pass. Congratulations, Jerry Savoy, Tim Kalungian, Harvey Dean, the entire team. Karen is going to be tough to beat today. Watch that veteran on the Suzuki.
The last few seasons, of course, a couple of championships with Megan. She
How's it feel to go 200 miles an hour?
Yeah, it feels awesome. You know, I'm not the first. There've been many bikes out here, so it's not that big of a deal for them. But for me, it was huge because it was on the bucket list. It was on my checkbox, and I had eluded me for so long. And I really wanted to do it on the 2-valve, and I still think we can. But for Tibet, I was able to get there. We put the 4-valve
This team, Vance and Hines, getting ready for the biggest round of the year. Angelle Suzuki getting tuned up for a showdown with the one and only Matt Smith. Look who's here. Andrew in the distance. The legend Terry Vance over there looking on. Guys, you can feel the nervous energy over here. They've been there, done that, okay? But they also understand, Vance and Hines that is, how important this next round is. Angelle, I'm sure, in the trailer, keeping cool, getting in that mental zone. She knows she's gonna need everything she can get on the starting line next round against Smith. Guys, again, you want to talk about nervous energy. Normally under this tent, we see everybody out working on the motorcycles. They're inside. They're getting their heads together. They're staying cool. They're looking over tune-ups. Matt Smith knows this is the biggest round of the year for him as well. A flurry of activity underneath the Steve Johnson Racing tent as well. Look, Fast Jack Beckman even here to lend his support. Steve Johnson in the trailer, keeping his mind together. I spoke to one of his mentors, George Bryce, pre-race. He said that's what Steve needs to do. He has all the tools to win this thing, but he's got to keep his composure. He's got to stay away from the mob of autograph seekers and all the other distractions there could be here on Championship Sunday. And here's a guy that knows a thing or two about winning. Fast Jack Beckman, great to see you. We've got one heck of a Pro Stock Motorcycle battle. We're getting ready for round two. All three contenders still alive. Steve Johnson, who's been there since the beginning of the class.
Oh, I've known Steve Johnson since we were both teenagers at the street races. He's a nut now. He was a nut back then. I just came by his pits. He's got one crew guy I've known since we were in kindergarten together. This is a hometown deal. I love all the folks in Pro Stock Bike, but this weekend I'm rooting for Stevie.
Now, as a racer, you try to tell yourself it's just another round, but we all know we're human. That's not possible. If everybody's got the championship hanging in the balance, what do you do as a racer to try to prepare yourself?
It's about getting in that zone, and you know, these sports metaphors sometimes can get idiotic, but what the zone means is, you know, there's the angel on one shoulder, the devil on the other. You get rid of this one. All that negative talk and emotions and what ifs just disappear. When the vehicle fires up, it's all about executing perfectly.
Thanks so much, Fast Jack. We can't wait to see you back.
Easier said than done.
The one and only Turbo Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's winning this championship?
My money, I love Karen Stouffer, so I'm going to put my money on Karen Stouffer. But Steve Johnson, he's my next guy, Jack.
It's going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting, really, it is.
And there's a lot of eyes on this motorcycle after Karen Stouffer blasted her first 200-mile-an-hour run. We'll see what she can do next round.
One of our guys. He's going on his
Yeah. Help you, David.
I'll tell you guys, you better say your prayers before this round. This is huge, the biggest round of the year. What's your name, sir?
Richard G.
Where are you from?
San Diego.
You watch Cycle Drag?
Alaska.
Got something for
I do all day.
Thanks, sir. Who's going to win the championship?
Dad in round number one.
I like them all.
He likes them all. Here we go, championship alert. Steve Johnson, Eddie Krawick. Oh, so many were rooting for Steve Johnson. There goes his championship hopes on a hole shot by 6,000ths of a second. Eddie Krawick goes 687, takes out Steve's 685. Unfortunately for Steve, his championship hopes are over, but let's congratulate Steve on a job well done this year. Now the attention turns to Matt Smith and Angelle Sampey.
She must beat Matt to keep her hopes alive. If Matt wins here, it's over.
Yeah, this is a tough matchup. I don't care who you are. If you've got a helmet on and you're on the starting line, there's a lot of pressure on you right here. This is going to be a great drag race. Whoever leads first is really, really important. Matt has a better bike, but if Angelle runs the numbers like Karen did last round, it could be really interesting.
Both of them roll into pre-stage. Angelle dives right in. She is wasting no time. Set. And he still does. 6.808 beats 6.777. Angelle makes the best run she's made all weekend. Celebration.
Matt Smith, you can't say he didn't earn it on a hole shot. He is a 5-time champion. 680 takes out a 677. Matt Smith wins it on the hole shot. And we heard he's in the sand. He is in the sand. Matt Smith in the sand. Let's make sure he's okay. I'm sure he's going to be feeling nothing but pleasure though when he realizes he just won championship number 5 on a hole shot. Wow.
Matt just stayed ahead of her. She couldn't pick him back up. And I just want to be one of the greatest of all time. You know, you got people like Dave Schultz, John Myers, Angelle, Eddie Krawick, you know, Andrew Hines. I mean, I just put my name up there with everybody else, and that's all I want to do. But this Tenzo, Lucas Oil, Mark Stark, Seth Greg, Butcher Trucking, we did it. 5. Got 5 of them. That's all I needed.
Rock knows it's going to be a while before he gets back on one of these things, so he does not want this to be his last run of the season.
Well, monster run by Karen Stouffer. We've got a championship decided, but we still have a race to decide, so don't go anywhere. And hey, let's wish Scotty Polachek well. He's going to step away with his wife. They're going to build a house next year, but a great way to go out and a great run by Scotty Polachek.
Those guys, they're great people, and they're really just great competitors. So it's been a pleasure to have them out here. And you know, Scotty winning his races now and getting that behind him and all that stuff, he's been having a lot more fun.
Guys, so never a dull moment. We followed Matt Smith in that pickup truck back here to the pit area. NHRA told him immediately he had to get back down to tech. The motorcycle went in the sand. They wanted to look over everything. Moments later, Matt reemerged with the champion hat, so we can now say it is official. He passed tech, a 5-time champion. But check this out. No time to rest, no time to relax. They're changing engines because they want to win this race, and they've got less than an hour to complete that engine change and try to find themselves in the winner's circle tonight. Gotta love drag racing. How exactly does Matt Smith celebrate championship number 5? By hustling, blowing all the sand off that motorcycle. Thanks so much, sir. What's your name?
Lonnie Graham.
I love it. Now, in a situation like this, what are you watching for? What are you policing?
So obviously with it going off the top end of the racetrack, we want to make sure that did it just have brake fade, you know, from a performance standpoint, did it have brake pads in the rear caliper? So there's certain things you can do to make one go faster, have less drag, less friction. At the same token, it's not something that we would ever think somebody would do, but it's just a double check. And so this thing, everything's intact, everything that's there is supposed to be there. There's a lot of racetracks that we race at that shutdown area is you got to be on top of your game. And here, if you make a really fast lap, you got to get on top of your game pretty quick. And so there are a few racetracks that you find some brake fade coming into play. And obviously that looks like what we had here.
So you're here mainly for a safety check?
Really a safety check. Did the pad get caught up in the caliper? Can we learn something from it to prevent something from like that from happening again? And so we, you know, that's looked at. Not a lot of time spent at the scales. Just get the rocks out of it, get it weighed, get it back to the pit. Obviously, still in competition, and so so obviously I come over to the pit, work around them, don't get in their way, and provide the checks that we need to make sure that one, they're doing it safely, and two, can we improve it going forward?
Thanks a lot. a heck of a way to celebrate Championship 5, huh?
Yeah, I didn't want to go in the sand, but I had no brakes and it just tore up some stuff, so hopefully the motor's all right. We don't have time to change it.
Well, big congratulations.
Thank you.
5-time champion, guys. Matt Smith getting it done. We've got Patrick Lynch from 187 Cycles, the one and only Richard Gatson. What is this all about, guys? Well, we've got a big announcement in the world of bagger drag racing. Who would like to handle this? Richard?
Oh, I get to do it.
Richard, take it away. Tell us what's cooking here.
Pat reached out to me about joining his team for next year, and it kind of was good timing. I'm looking for new challenges and new things to do, you know, just to stay excited, stay young, I guess, so to speak. And I thought it was pretty cool to get into the bagger racing and start doing some of that stuff a little bit more next year. So Pat's the owner of the bike that I'm going to be on.
Pat, I love it. All right, we know bagger racing growing in popularity, and now you got one of the best no-bar racers in the world. How's that feel?
Feels great. Just to grow the team. You know, we have some expectations and some, you know, things we want to reach in the future, and I think Richard's the guy to help us do it.
I love it. How'd you guys get hooked up? So here's what happened. I watched you on Michael Beland's bagger this year. I know you're awesome on a sport bike. You're awesome on an old school GS. You almost went into the 7s on Beland's bike. And Pat called me, said, I'm looking for a rider right away. I thought, Richard Gatson, talk to him. I don't know if you had time in your schedule because you're so busy, but apparently there's always time for a little bagger racing, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's still early. Nobody has their schedules out for, well, even the bagger scene don't have their schedule out yet, but I'm flexible, and it was kind of like perfect timing. Like I said, you know, I was looking for something new and exciting to do anyway, so I'm all game for it.
I love it, guys. Richard Gatson on a 187 bagger real soon. Going to be a whole lot of fun. Wish him well down below in the comments.
But these guys are definitely wanting to win this round, so I know Matt's won the championship and he deserves every bit of it, but I promise you he wants to win this round.
Do you have any concern with Matt after that trip into the gravel?
No, not at all. They got that cleaned up. Matt will come right back and go an 80. If Eddie doesn't leave on him and run an 81 or 2, he's not going to win.
Well, great job cleaning that motorcycle up. 681, Matt Smith, he's going to the final.
678, 198 miles an hour.
A 678 earns Karen lane choice in the final for Matt Smith. We've got an epic showdown coming up.
Right. Oh my goodness, God, I just so thankful.
A Pro Stock Motorcycle. Smith's bike turns the tire early. Karen Stouffer, her third final round in as many races, and out of those 3 final rounds, she can't close the deal. On a hole shot with an 0:11 reaction time, Matt Smith 681 beats Karen Stouffer's 676. That is a wintertime nightmare that she's going to be reliving until we get back here in February.
Massive hole shot. Matt Smith 676, Karen 681. Matt wins it. Wow.
Really surprising, but to 10 and all the guys, she was 76.
The Capco boys did it. Congratulations, what a season. And do we have a special shout out for a young lady in Florida?
Yep, I'm sure the reason we were able to win this championship and these races are these little fruit Skittles right here. Thank you, Maddie. We love you.
Shout out, Maddie. Even the Capco boys respect you. Congratulations. That was amazing. DUI on the way home and I'm not even drinking. Oh, we're soaked in champagne. Oh my God, we got soaked. I'm covered in champagne. Nearly 15 seasons of Pro Stock Motorcycle and just one win shy of what she really wanted. But Karen Stouffer, I gotta say congratulations, Race Skillman, Big St. Charles Motorsports. You put that 200-mile-an-hour pass on the board and really came alive here the last 3 races.
Yeah, we did. I was very, very blessed to have the 4-valve put in the bike, and I think that's what, you know, Timmy had been working on that program with Jerry. They had started to turn around in Dallas, and then Jerry couldn't make it to the rest of the races due to the hurricane, obviously. They decided to continue with the program in my bike, and I was just very blessed to be able to do that. You know, I really think it's possible to do the 200 on the 2-valve, but definitely with Tim putting that 4-valve in, it helped get that goal. So, you know, yeah, phenomenal. I feel it's bittersweet, 3 final rounds and 3 losses, and to all 3 of the ones who were battling for the championship. So it's tough, but you know, I changed a little bit up on my reaction times this year. I'm on my leaves, and I'm not quite consistent at it yet. So I take the hit on that one, but you know, ultimately, overall, you're right. A very good season. We had a #1 qualifier. We had 3 final rounds, and we had a 200-mile-an-hour out of 3 races. So definitely looking good going into next year. So that's awesome.
We've got a magical sunset, and it was a magical season. Steve, I know you're disappointed, just a little bit short of where you wanted to be, but for how long you've been in this class and how many people stepped up and showed their support. You saw all the comments on Cycle Drag. Everybody was pulling for you. How much did this ride mean to you?
It was a lot of fun. A lot of wouldn't pass up the emotions and the camaraderie. Like I've always said, I just hope everybody else gets to feel the emotions and the happiness, the gratitude, and the love that I got to feel, and I hope the crew did. You know, so it's all good. It's all good.
Now I know right now this has to sting. You're a true competitor, but I think back to when I was at your shop preseason. If I told you then you'd be in the championship mix at the last race, and you're going to put a low single digit on your bike for next year, how fulfilling would that have been back then?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, clearly my mantra, my initiative to inspire is always, you know, look forward. And you know, you give us a platform to talk about that. You know, my mind's been on Keith Dennis the whole weekend. You know, I'm so happy that he's recovered. We've lost so many people, and you know, you give me some coverage on my kindergarten visit. I mean, that stuff's so cool, and I feel like a knucklehead for having such a bad light and not doing my job. But I'm blessed to be here, and I'm lucky to be healthy, and make sure everybody gets an oximeter and check your blood when you're healthy, and if you get COVID, then it'll give you a baseline. So be blessed and move forward.
It keeps things in perspective, that's for sure. Now, speaking of moving forward and taking the optimistic point of view here, you know this class better than anybody. You've been in it a long time. You grabbed me a couple years ago at Gainesville and you said, this is a new era. This is a renaissance. Well, you've built all this momentum with your own motor program. How much excitement does that give you heading into next year that you could perhaps do this again?
It sounds cool.
Well, guys, he did it. 5 championships. Matt, I got to ask you, I've known you a long time. In fact, I think I was at your first race, 2003 Gator Nationals. Was that the first one?
Yeah, I think
you
so.
bought Paul Gass' bike. I was in Gino's trailer. I remember you came over, Earl DeGlopper, who knew that bike. You said, Earl, I need some help. And now, here we are, how many years later, and you're a 5-time champion on top of the mountain. When you think about how far you've come, how meaningful is this?
It's huge. I mean, you know, when you race out here, this is the top level of motorcycle drag racing. I know we have Top Fuel and funny bikes and pro mod bikes, but everybody wants to race in NHRA and run Pro Stock Motorcycle. And when you race out here against the Angelle and Andrew and Karen and Eddie Craywood, these are some big names out here. And to get 5 championships now, I went in the 3rd of all time now for World Championships in Pro Stock Motorcycle. So only behind Dave Schultz and Andrew Hines. So I'm pretty happy to be where I'm at, and we're going to do whatever we can next year to be on a Suzuki and to make 6 of them. I'm going to lead the V-Twin side for right now and go to the Suzuki Nation. So hopefully we get some more backers. But if we have to go back to the V-Twin, we'll go back to it. But we're going to run whichever one's faster next year.
Are you surprised the way this played out, that you won so many races on hole shots?
Had to dig deep. Like I stated the very first race of the year at Gator Nationals, I said them Suzukis are going to be fast. Everybody thought I was crying, but I knew what the potential I saw in testing and at the first race, and I'm like, they're only going to get better through the year. And they were fast, but they just didn't show their hands till started the countdown. And I survived them, and I had to outdrive them today, and that's what we did. And that's the main reason why we're building one, is because I see the potential where they're at. And if NHRA is not going to penalize them, I'm going over there to build one and go as fast as they can go.
Well, I got to say, it was an apropos final, because we know what happens on social media. I get it all the time. You said that comment to Glenn Cromwell in the beginning of the year, and they say, some people said, oh, Matt's crying, Matt's crying. But look, you did get outrun by a Suzuki, and you won it with reaction time. So I don't know. At some tracks, maybe the Suzukis did have a marked advantage.
No, they had an advantage all year. I mean, it's just a simple fact. The only place they might not have had advantage was at Denver. But they just didn't do their job, in my opinion, of tuning and riding and getting that program together. If you start the season and you go almost a national record right off the bat, you should have been fast from day one. They should have got better, and they regressed all the way through the year until they got to the countdown, and then all of a sudden they flourished again. So they can say whatever they want. Maybe they threw sandbags on them to slow them down for the rest of the year. But that's why I pushed so hard, because I knew when it comes to this countdown, I was going to lose a lot of points if I was leading the points, and I knew that was going to be tough. But that bike right there is pretty badass. It's parked now. Never run that thing again. That particular one, it's very meaningful. I won 3 championships on that bike now, and I'm parking it, and we'll build another if we run another V-Twin, but right now we're going with Suzuki.
It's going to be a nice museum piece. One thing I got to ask you real quick, and you would know better than anybody with these Buell bodies, are you a little bit surprised Eddie and Andrew didn't run better this year, putting the Buell bodies on the old Harleys where they were so dominant, but they never really seemed to get their footing this year?
Yeah, I mean, they come out at Charlotte, and I think they ran good at Charlotte, and they ran good at Atlanta. And I don't know if they got tied up with just doing more stuff with the Suzuki program, but hey, I told them all along when they added a 3rd bike to their camp, they're going to struggle. They've done nothing but, I think, struggle with 3 bikes on their camp. You know, they did a really good job with 2 bikes, and that's why a lot of people go, man, I don't know, I can't even get 1 to run, much less you get 4 of them to run. And I've learned a lot of how to make 4 of them run, and we're going to make 4 of them run next year. Just going to be 2 Suzukis, maybe 3 Suzukis and 1 V-Twin. But my focus now that the championship's done is to make Suzuki's fast. I'm going to work with Gianna Salinas, and I'm going to try to do my best to make her a much better rider, make her a top 10 player, make her where they're scared to run her every round we come to race next year. And that's my goal right now.
It's going to be exciting. We know next year is going to be tough. I'm sure Hines and Craywick will be much improved. There's a lot of racers out here. The final thing I have for you, Matt, you're known as one of the hardest workers in this class. How much time will you take off before 2022 starts in North Carolina? Before you start building these bikes, dynoing, going crazy?
Well, we're already building the Suzuki stuff. We've already got stuff at the house. I got stuff on the dyno mocked up, ready to finish the stuff up when we get home to start dynoing. I am going to take a week off when we go to Thanksgiving. My family, we always do a Thanksgiving week. So when I get back home, we'll do work up until Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, then we're heading to Florida. And I'm going to stay there for a week with them and just relax and enjoy ourselves. But we'll be hard back at it after that.
Congratulations. He's your 5-time champ, guys. Tell him congratulations down below.
Thank you.
So that is it, guys. More twists and turns than a Martin Scorsese film. Was that crazy or what? What a wild NHRA season. It is over. 2021 is over, at least on the NHRA side. We've still got more races to go to, and we appreciate you sharing, subscribing, and riding with us on this journey. Let me share this with you. You know I'm on a quest to take you with me, and I want you to live vicariously through all my journeys. This is a SoCal sunset, and it is absolutely beautiful. Apropos, isn't it, as the sun sets on another NHRA season. Well, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right in the middle. If you like that video, here's another one for you. And you know, if there's anything fast motorcycles, we're in. Be a friend, tell a friend. Cycle Drag rolls in.